This is Harvey Weinstein, the celebrity prisoner who pays $500,000 monthly for luxury jail accommodations. And here's how his Hollywood fortune transformed prison into a five-star hotel experience. His wealth buys private chefs, personal security guards, and medical care that costs more than most people's annual salaries, while other inmates suffer in standard cells. Chapter: The Hollywood Predator. Harvey Weinstein didn't just fall from Hollywood royalty to convicted felon. He transformed his incarceration into a $500,000 monthly luxury experience that makes most five-star hotels look like budget accommodations, while demonstrating how unlimited wealth can purchase comfort, safety, and privilege even within the supposedly equalizing walls of maximum security prison. His monthly payments don't just cover basic necessities. They fund a parallel prison system where money transforms punishment into an expensive but manageable lifestyle choice. The $500,000 monthly figure represents just the documented expenses that Weinstein's legal team disclosed during court proceedings, excluding additional costs for legal representation, private investigators, and financial management that pushes total incarceration expenses well beyond what most Americans earn in a decade. This staggering amount flows through complex financial networks designed to circumvent prison regulations while ensuring Weinstein maintains living standards that would be considered luxurious even for free civilians. His primary expense involves private medical care that exceeds the quality available at most civilian hospitals, featuring round-the-clock nursing staff, specialized equipment, and pharmaceutical supplies that cost more per month than most people spend on housing. Weinstein's medical needs, ranging from legitimate health issues to hypochondriac demands, require constant attention from healthcare professionals who charge premium rates for treating high-profile patients in secure environments where standard medical protocols don't apply. But Weinstein's most shocking expenditure involves personal security that protects him from fellow inmates who view his crimes as particularly despicable, even by prison standards. His security detail includes former law enforcement officers and military personnel who work within the prison system to ensure his safety while maintaining the appearance of standard incarceration. These guards cost approximately $100,000 monthly while providing protection that rivals presidential security details. The food service represents another massive expense category, featuring private chefs who prepare meals according to Weinstein's dietary preferences and medical requirements while ensuring food safety standards that exceed those available to general population inmates. His meals cost approximately $50,000 monthly and include ingredients sourced from premium suppliers who deliver directly to correctional facilities through arrangements that require extensive coordination with prison administrators. Weinstein's legal strategy involves maintaining his Hollywood lifestyle as much as possible to preserve his psychological state for ongoing appeals and potential retrials, creating justification for expenses that would seem outrageous in civilian contexts, but become necessary when defending against criminal charges that could result in lifetime imprisonment. His legal team argues that maintaining his health and mental state serves the interests of justice by ensuring he can participate effectively in his own defense. His communication expenses alone exceed most people's monthly salaries, involving secure telephone systems, encrypted messaging services, and video conferencing equipment that allows him to maintain business relationships and coordinate legal strategies while incarcerated. These systems cost approximately $75,000 monthly while providing connectivity that most executives would envy even in corporate environments designed for maximum efficiency. The most disturbing aspect of Weinstein's prison spending involves how his wealth creates a two-tiered justice system where financial resources determine the quality of punishment rather than the severity of crimes. While other inmates convicted of similar offenses serve their sentences in standard conditions, Weinstein's money allows him to transform incarceration into an expensive but manageable lifestyle that bears little resemblance to traditional concepts of criminal punishment. His cell accommodations feature amenities that would be considered luxury upgrades in civilian housing markets, including premium bedding, climate control systems, entertainment equipment, and furniture that costs more than most people's annual rent. These accommodations require monthly payments that exceed luxury apartment rentals in major metropolitan areas, while providing comfort levels that make incarceration feel more like an exclusive retreat than criminal punishment. Weinstein's financial team manages his prison expenses through trust funds, investment accounts, and business entities that generate sufficient income to sustain his lifestyle indefinitely while preserving assets for potential civil settlements and legal appeals that could continue for years. His monthly expenses represent just the interest on investments that compound faster than his incarceration costs, ensuring he can maintain luxury prison living without depleting his principal wealth. But perhaps the most shocking revelation about Weinstein's prison spending isn't the monthly amount. It's how his case demonstrates that American criminal justice operates differently for individuals with unlimited financial resources. His $500,000 monthly payments represent more than punishment mitigation. They represent systemic inequality where wealth can purchase entirely different experiences within institutions supposedly designed to treat all inmates equally regardless of their financial status. The psychological impact of Weinstein's luxury incarceration extends beyond personal comfort into broader questions about justice, equality, and the role of money in determining how criminal punishment actually functions versus how it's supposed to work in democratic societies. His case reveals how celebrity wealth can transform even the most serious criminal convictions into expensive but manageable inconveniences rather than meaningful consequences for devastating crimes. His monthly payments also fund public relations campaigns, media management, and reputation rehabilitation efforts that continue working to influence public opinion and potential jurors even while he serves his sentence. These efforts cost additional hundreds of thousands monthly while demonstrating how wealth allows celebrities to continue fighting their cases through channels unavailable to ordinary prisoners who must accept their convictions and serve their time without ongoing campaigns to overturn their sentences. Weinstein's $500,000 monthly payments were nothing compared to the Ponzi king who stole $65 billion and turned prison commissary shopping into a luxury retail experience. Chapter: The Ponzi King. Bernie Madoff's $65 billion Ponzi scheme didn't just destroy thousands of lives. It funded the most expensive prison commissary shopping sprees in correctional history while demonstrating how stolen wealth can purchase comfort even after conviction for the largest financial fraud in human history. His monthly commissary spending exceeded $50,000, turning the prison store into his personal luxury retail outlet where he purchased premium food, electronics, and comfort items that transformed his cell into a Manhattan penthouse recreation. Madoff's commissary purchases included imported delicacies, premium coffee, and gourmet snacks that cost more per month than most inmates' families spend on groceries. While he served his 150-year sentence, his shopping list read like a luxury hotel room service menu featuring items that required special orders from suppliers who delivered directly to federal correctional facilities through arrangements that cost additional thousands in administrative fees. But his most outrageous expense involved purchasing influence among fellow inmates through commissary gifts that established him as the prison's unofficial banker, lending money, and buying favors that created a shadow economy, where Madoff remained powerful despite losing his freedom. His wealth allowed him to recreate the financial manipulation that defined his criminal career. Except now he was bribing prisoners instead of investors while maintaining a lifestyle that mocked the justice system's attempt to punish his crimes. If Madoff's billions seemed untouchable, R. Kelly's music empire continues generating millions while he's locked away funding legal battles that cost more than most recording contracts. Chapter: The Fallen Star. R. Kelly's music royalties generate over $2 million annually, even while he serves time for sex trafficking, creating a revenue stream that funds his legal defense and prison accommodations, while his victims struggle with trauma from crimes that continue enriching their abuser. His catalog of hits generates streaming revenue, radio royalties, and licensing fees that flow into trust accounts managed by financial advisors who ensure Kelly maintains celebrity lifestyle standards even behind bars. His legal defense costs exceed $100,000 monthly, featuring teams of attorneys, investigators, and experts who work to overturn convictions. While Kelly's music continues playing on platforms worldwide, creating the grotesque scenario where his crimes against minors generate ongoing profits that fund efforts to escape accountability. His prison accommodations include special dietary arrangements, enhanced communication privileges, and protective custody measures that cost taxpayers additional thousands monthly. Kelly's wealth allows him to maintain fan communications through expensive phone systems and legal visits that exceed standard prisoner allowances, enabling him to continue influencing public opinion while serving his sentence. His financial team manages royalty payments, merchandise sales, and licensing agreements that ensure steady income regardless of his incarceration status, demonstrating how celebrity intellectual property can provide financial security even after criminal conviction. The most disturbing aspect involves how Kelly's ongoing earnings from music that celebrated toxic masculinity and predatory behavior now fund legal strategies designed to minimize consequences for the very behaviors his songs promoted, creating a feedback loop where artistic expression becomes evidence while simultaneously funding defense against charges. But Kelly's ongoing royalties palled next to the Silicon Valley fraudster who convinced investors she was worth billions while operating a complete medical testing hoax. Chapter: Silicon Valley's Fraud. Elizabeth Holmes convinced investors she was worth $9 billion through Theranos stock valuations before her blood testing empire collapsed into the largest healthcare fraud in history. Yet her family wealth and investor connections allowed her to maintain a luxury lifestyle throughout her trial and early incarceration that makes most civilians' lives look modest by comparison. Her monthly expenses during pre-sentencing exceeded $300,000, featuring private security, luxury accommodations, and legal representation that transformed criminal proceedings into expensive theater. Holmes' prenatal care during her trial cost over $50,000 monthly at luxury medical facilities that provided concierge health care, while she faced charges for defrauding patients whose lives were endangered by her fake medical technology. Her accommodations featured private chefs, personal trainers, and lifestyle coaches who maintained her physical and mental condition during legal proceedings that could result in decades of imprisonment. Her legal strategy involved portraying herself as a naive entrepreneur manipulated by male business partners, requiring extensive psychological evaluation, expert testimony, and media management that cost additional hundreds of thousands monthly, while creating a narrative that minimized her culpability for fraud that endangered countless patients who received inaccurate medical test results. Holmes' wealth allowed her to delay sentencing through pregnancy, motherhood claims, and medical issues that extended her freedom while costing taxpayers millions in extended legal proceedings. Her case demonstrates how Silicon Valley fortunes can purchase different justice experiences where fraud consequences become manageable expenses rather than life-destroying punishment, enabling her to maintain social status and family relationships despite criminal conviction. Holmes' tech billions seemed impressive until you meet the cartel boss who moved $14 billion annually while imprisoned, bribing entire prison systems like corporate subsidiaries. Chapter: The cartel emperor Wayne El Chapo Guzman's $14 billion drug empire didn't end with his arrest. It funded the most expensive prison bribery operation in history while he transformed Mexican correctional facilities into luxury resorts where guards became his personal employees and fellow inmates served as his private army. His monthly prison expenses exceeded $2 million, featuring payments to prison officials, construction of luxury accommodations, and security services that made his incarceration feel more like a business retreat than criminal punishment. El Chapo's prison modifications included installing jacuzzis, satellite television, gourmet kitchens, and climate control systems that cost more than most people's homes. While guards received monthly payments exceeding their official salaries in exchange for treating him like a hotel guest rather than a dangerous criminal, his cells featured gold-plated fixtures, imported furniture, and entertainment systems that rivaled luxury penthouses while demonstrating how cartel money could purchase entirely different incarceration experiences. His most notorious expense involved funding elaborate escape tunnels that cost millions to construct while involving hundreds of corrupt officials who received payments for ignoring obvious construction activity occurring directly beneath maximum security facilities. These escapes weren't desperate attempts at freedom. They were expensive engineering projects that demonstrated how unlimited criminal wealth could make prison walls meaningless obstacles rather than effective barriers. El Chapo's prison empire included personal chefs who prepared his meals according to specific dietary requirements, medical staff who provided premium health care, and communication systems that allowed him to continue coordinating cartel operations while supposedly isolated from criminal networks. His incarceration became a temporary business location rather than punishment, costing Mexican taxpayers millions while generating ongoing profits that funded future criminal activity. El Chapo's prison bribes were staggering. But wait until you see the CEO who spent $1 billion just to escape justice through the most expensive fugitive operation in corporate history. Chapter: The Fugitive CEO. Carlos Ghosn's $1 billion escape from Japanese detention represents the most expensive fugitive operation in corporate history. Featuring private jets, international safe houses, and bribery networks that transformed his legal troubles into a luxury travel experience while demonstrating how CEO wealth can purchase freedom regardless of criminal charges. His detention costs in Japan exceeded $1 million monthly before his escape, featuring luxury accommodations, premium medical care, and legal representation that made his pre-trial confinement feel more like an exclusive business retreat. Ghosn's Japanese detention facility provided amenities that exceeded five-star hotel standards, including private dining, entertainment systems, and business communication privileges that allowed him to continue managing corporate affairs while facing charges for financial misconduct. His legal team cost over $500,000 monthly while coordinating with international law firms, public relations specialists, and financial advisors who work to minimize reputational damage from criminal proceedings. Her case demonstrates how Silicon Valley fortunes can purchase different justice experiences where fraud consequences become manageable expenses rather than life-destroying punishment, enabling her to maintain social status and family relationships despite criminal conviction. Holmes' tech billions seemed impressive until you meet the cartel boss who moved $14 billion annually while imprisoned, bribing entire prison systems like corporate subsidiaries. Chapter: The Cartel Emperor. Wayne El Chapo Guzman's $14 billion drug empire didn't end with his arrest. It funded the most expensive prison bribery operation in history while he transformed Mexican correctional facilities into luxury resorts where guards became his personal employees and fellow inmates served as his private army. His monthly prison expenses exceeded $2 million, featuring payments to prison officials, construction of luxury accommodations, and security services that made his incarceration feel more like a business retreat than criminal punishment. El Chapo's prison modifications included installing jacuzzis, satellite television, gourmet kitchens, and climate control systems that cost more than most people's homes. While guards received monthly payments exceeding their official salaries in exchange for treating him like a hotel guest rather than a dangerous criminal, his cells featured gold-plated fixtures, imported furniture, and entertainment systems that rivaled luxury penthouses while demonstrating how cartel money could purchase entirely different incarceration experiences. His most notorious expense involved funding elaborate escape tunnels that cost millions to construct while involving hundreds of corrupt officials who received payments for ignoring obvious construction activity occurring directly beneath maximum security facilities. These escapes weren't desperate attempts at freedom. They were expensive engineering projects that demonstrated how unlimited criminal wealth could make prison walls meaningless obstacles rather than effective barriers. El Chapo's prison empire included personal chefs who prepared his meals according to specific dietary requirements, medical staff who provided premium health care, and communication systems that allowed him to continue coordinating cartel operations while supposedly isolated from criminal networks. His incarceration became a temporary business location rather than punishment, costing Mexican taxpayers millions while generating ongoing profits that funded future criminal activity. El Chapo's prison bribes were staggering. But wait until you see the CEO who spent $1 billion just to escape justice through the most expensive fugitive operation in corporate history. Chapter: The Fugitive CEO. Carlos Ghosn's $1 billion escape from Japanese detention represents the most expensive fugitive operation in corporate history. Featuring private jets, international safe houses, and bribery networks that transformed his legal troubles into a luxury travel experience while demonstrating how CEO wealth can purchase freedom regardless of criminal charges. His detention costs in Japan exceeded $1 million monthly before his escape, featuring luxury accommodations, premium medical care, and legal representation that made his pre-trial confinement feel more like an exclusive business retreat. Gosen's Japanese detention facility provided amenities that exceeded five-star hotel standards, including private dining, entertainment systems, and business communication privileges that allowed him to continue managing corporate affairs while facing charges for financial misconduct. His legal team cost over $500,000 monthly while coordinating with international law firms, public relations specialists, and financial advisors who worked to minimize reputational damage from criminal proceedings. His escape plan involved chartering private jets, bribing security officials, and creating false documentation that cost hundreds of millions while requiring coordination across multiple countries and legal jurisdictions. The operation included safe houses in Lebanon, Switzerland, and other nations where extradition laws provided protection from Japanese prosecution, demonstrating how executive wealth can purchase geographical immunity from criminal justice systems. Goen's post-escape lifestyle maintains CEO standards through ongoing business ventures, media appearances, and legal challenges that cost additional millions monthly while he lives in Lebanese luxury that makes his Japanese detention seem like temporary inconvenience rather than meaningful consequence for alleged financial crimes totaling hundreds of millions. Goen's escape plan was expensive, but Martha Stewart turned prison into a business opportunity worth millions, networking with fellow inmates like it was an exclusive executive retreat. Chapter: The Domestic Queen. Martha Stewart transformed her 5-month prison sentence into the ultimate networking opportunity, spending over $100,000 monthly on commissary purchases, communication services, and legal consultations that turned a federal correctional facility into an exclusive business retreat where she developed relationships and strategies that enhanced her media empire. Her incarceration became a publicity goldmine that generated more positive press coverage than most marketing campaigns while demonstrating how celebrity prisoners can leverage their situations for financial gain. Stewart's prison spending included premium commissary items that she distributed among fellow inmates as relationship-building investments, creating loyalty and protection while gathering material for future media projects about prison reform and women's incarceration. Her monthly communications budget exceeded most executives' phone bills as she coordinated business operations, media interviews, and brand management from behind bars through expensive calling systems and legal visit privileges. Her legal team maintained constant contact at costs exceeding $50,000 monthly, not to appeal her conviction, but to manage her brand during incarceration and prepare for post-release business expansion that would capitalize on her prison experience. Stewart's case demonstrated how celebrity status and business acumen could transform criminal punishment into career development opportunities that actually enhanced rather than damaged her public profile. The most remarkable aspect involved how Stewart's prison sentence increased her media value and audience sympathy, leading to increased stock prices, expanded business opportunities, and enhanced cultural relevance that more than compensated for her legal costs and temporary loss of freedom. Her incarceration became an investment in authenticity and relatability that paid dividends for years after her release. Stewart's prison networking seemed clever until you discover the heavyweight champion who built a gym empire behind bars, earning $400 million while serving time. Chapter: The Heavyweight Champion. Mike Tyson's prison sentence became a $400 million business opportunity as he transformed his 3-year incarceration into a physical and spiritual transformation that enhanced his boxing career while demonstrating how celebrity athletes can leverage imprisonment for personal and financial gain. His monthly prison expenses exceeded $200,000, featuring private training facilities, nutritional consultants, and educational programs that made his cell feel more like an exclusive athletic training camp than criminal punishment. Tyson's prison modifications included constructing a private gymnasium with professional-grade equipment, hiring personal trainers who worked within correctional facility guidelines, and maintaining dietary programs that kept him in championship physical condition while serving time for rape conviction. His training regimen attracted media attention that generated ongoing publicity value worth millions while he prepared for post-release boxing matches that would earn unprecedented purses. His educational investments included hiring private tutors, therapists, and spiritual advisors who cost over $50,000 monthly while helping him develop intellectual and emotional capabilities that transformed his public image from dangerous criminal to reformed champion. These investments paid dividends through enhanced media marketability, book deals, and speaking engagements that generated ongoing revenue streams throughout and after his incarceration. Tyson's prison experience became part of his personal brand narrative, demonstrating redemption and growth that actually increased his commercial value and public sympathy. His case showed how celebrity prisoners with athletic talents could use incarceration as a career development opportunity that enhanced rather than damaged their earning potential, turning criminal punishment into an expensive but profitable personal transformation. Tyson's prison business was impressive, but the actor who owed $40 million in taxes got celebrity treatment anyway, demonstrating how Hollywood status transcends financial responsibility. Chapter: The Tax Evader. Wesley Snipes' $40 million tax debt didn't prevent him from receiving celebrity treatment during his 3-year federal prison sentence, featuring accommodations and privileges that cost over $100,000 monthly, while demonstrating how Hollywood status can purchase preferential treatment even when imprisoned for crimes against the government that funded the justice system prosecuting him. His celebrity prisoner experience included enhanced communication privileges, protective custody arrangements, and commissary access that made his incarceration feel more like an expensive sabbatical than punishment for tax evasion. Snipes' prison spending included premium commissary purchases, enhanced telephone privileges, and legal consultations that exceeded most people's annual incomes. While he served time for refusing to pay taxes that fund public services, including the correctional facilities housing him, his monthly expenses demonstrated the irony of spending more on prison luxury than most taxpayers contribute annually to the government systems he defrauded through tax avoidance schemes. His legal team continued working throughout his incarceration at costs exceeding $75,000 monthly, not to appeal his conviction, but to minimize financial penalties and negotiate payment terms that would preserve his Hollywood lifestyle after release. Snipes' case illustrated how celebrity wealth could purchase different consequences where tax crimes became manageable expenses rather than life-destroying punishment. The most striking aspect involved how Snipes maintained his acting career and public image throughout incarceration, securing post-release film contracts and endorsement deals that more than compensated for his legal costs and temporary loss of freedom. His celebrity status transformed tax evasion consequences into career interruption rather than meaningful accountability for defrauding taxpayers. But even Snipes' celebrity status couldn't match the cocaine king who built his own private luxury prison, making every other celebrity prisoner look like amateur spenders. Chapter: The Cocaine Kingpin. Pablo Escobar didn't just serve time. He built his own private luxury prison called La Catedral that cost $30 million to construct while generating billions in ongoing drug profits that made his imprisonment the most expensive criminal accommodation in history. This wasn't incarceration. It was a government-funded resort where Escobar continued running his cocaine empire while Colombian taxpayers unknowingly funded his luxury lifestyle through a prison system he controlled more completely than any warden. Latadrill featured amenities that rivaled five-star hotels, including a soccer field, jacuzzi, waterfall, and multiple bedrooms where Escobar entertained guests, conducted business meetings, and hosted parties that generated more revenue than most legitimate businesses. His monthly operating expenses exceeded $500,000, featuring gourmet chefs, premium liquor, and entertainment that made his prison sentence feel more like an all-expenses-paid vacation funded by Colombian cocaine profits and government corruption. Escobar's prison empire included personal security forces, communication systems that coordinated international drug trafficking, and torture chambers where he eliminated rivals while supposedly serving his sentence for criminal activity. His guards were actually his employees who received salaries exceeding government wages while ensuring his safety and comfort rather than maintaining security for public protection. The most shocking aspect wasn't the luxury accommodations or ongoing criminal operations. It was how Escobar's wealth allowed him to negotiate his own imprisonment terms with Colombian government officials who treated his incarceration like a business contract rather than criminal punishment. His prison became a headquarters that generated more drug trafficking revenue than his operations had produced while free, demonstrating how criminal billions could transform any form of government control into profitable business opportunity. When Colombian authorities finally attempted to transfer him to actual prison, Escobar simply walked away from Latadrill, proving that his $30 billion empire had purchased not just luxury imprisonment, but complete freedom from any meaningful consequences for crimes that killed thousands, while enriching him beyond the wealth of most nations.